Hey John, this is Josh. I just wanted to show you kind of the new geteach.com. I'm hoping to get it out in about 2 weeks. I still have some cleanup to do. One more function, a couple of kind of efficiency issues, but it should be done in 2 weeks. It uses the Maps API as opposed to the Earth plugin for obvious reasons, so it does work on Chromebooks and tablets as long as it's running the Chrome browser. Doesn't work on iOS because iOS doesn't do a CSS function I like, which is the viewport height to make it fill the screen. And I could make it work for iOS, but I really don't want to. Here is the two maps. Because I'm using the Maps API, instead of the plugin, I'm able to kind of manipulate the divs a little bit easier. So you can see I can resize fairly easy, and the maps are just moving on with it. Each one comes with its own little map control, so if I turn this off, it'll move some of the extra stuff out of the way. I can turn off the drawing thing, so it's like almost a completely blank canvas just with a search box. So I live in Austin, right? So kind of that's the way, these controls work. The synchronize, you can turn it on and off where it's independent or they'll be synced together. Same thing with the zoom. They are now not synced, so they can be independent. Turn it back on and they'll be right there with me. The drawing tool's pretty nifty, so this is just basically a place mark. So if you're talking about something in class or a student wanted to show you something, they could show you. It's like, what do you mean Kansas? I mean this Kansas right here, for example. You could do the same thing with kind of circles and, maybe do a math problem as far as, figuring out the, area of a circle or something like that. You just do that, do the line, pop down the ruler, and it'll show you the distance over here. You move the ruler around, click off, and click back on it, and it'll give you the new measurement. Same thing with the polygon, right? Works pretty similar to the one that y'all already have on y'all's Maps Engine Lite. Gives you the area. That distance is actually perimeter, not distance between 2 points. And just kind of works the same way. Elevation works very similar to the one in Google Earth. Just do 2 points and there's your elevation crosshairs, cross section. And then again, if you can click on there, you could drag around, you can see the yellow arrow kind of where it would be. Pretty cool. Alright, in addition to just kind of the regular functions, I have same maps that I've had in geteach, the old version. So here's Blue Marble, for example. It's set on map canvas 1. It defaults whenever I choose this select map. If I choose this select map over here, it'll be map canvas 2. But I can change it to map canvas 2, so we can look at land temperatures on this side. Drop the menu out. Here's the layers, so I'm going to go to January. And this is already set up on January. See? And you can see the temperature. If I want to see the legend for this one, for example, I'll just hit Control so I can hit two things at the same time. And then there's the legend, so you can see how cold it is up in Canada, for example. If I wanted to see a description, just Control and there's the description. Control again, unselects it. You can do simple correlations with students. So in August you can see the temperature in Canada, what's going to happen to the frost up there in the north, and sure enough, fits exactly what they thought, observe, analyze, make predictions. So just basic geography stuff. In addition to kind of the default maps that I've always had, the CIA Factbook, these are just it's just a shape file. I mean, this is area in square kilometers, right? If you click on it, it'll give you the information. Same thing with the CIA Factbook. It just gives you other demographic indicators. It's just like a political map. Human Development Index, the economy, demographics. If I, for example, choose demographics, these are the layers that are associated with demographics. So population growth rate, birth rate. Click it, it'll change it. Least favorite, but most favorite, infant mortality. Click on Afghanistan because I think they have the highest infant mortality rate, and you could just kind of see what's going on. So that's just the basic maps that already come with it. Students can also put their created maps here underneath here. So for example, this right here is one that one of my students made, and I'm just doing the Drive function because I have it in a Google Drive account. So that's a KML that he made in Google Earth last year. We're going to do it in Maps Engine Lite this year. Export it as a KML and then bring it back in. So they'll be able to look at kind of ecosystems, and we can go ahead and correlate that with climates, for example. Correlate your climates and your ecosystems. All of the maps that I have are in Earth Engine platform, and I'm just pulling the asset ID number. So I can do the same thing with y'all's gallery. So for example, this is banks and pawn shops that I used in the presentations. Oops, wrong one. It's just the asset ID number from the gallery. I'll use the maps key, and there's the banks right there. If we go ahead and pull up the pawn shops at the same time, maybe pull up the legend. It's a bug right there. I'll have to fix that later. We can go to Austin as the example here. So here's Austin. The green are the banks, the orange are pawn shops basically. And then I can go to a map that I've made. Oops. So here's my Earth Engine map, so I can just take this, grab the API access, and that's a Maps Engine key, and you'll see the map that I got created from the Census Bureau. And you can match up, this looks like a less fortunate area over here, so the darker the red, let's go to median income. It's a better indicator anyways. Control. You can see the red are less fortunate than the people in the kind of yellow, orange to moving on to light yellow. So here's an area that's, you get 41,000 as the median income, and then you can come over here and it's 126,000. You can kind of correlate your pawn shops versus your regular banks. So that was from using just the asset ID numbers. The tornado one, this is the one that we created in Google Maps Lite during the presentations this summer. So I'm just going to put this one in. So I downloaded it as a KML, just that layer as a KML, and then I put it on my Google Drive account. And I'll come back here, and you can see that I think the red ones are like F4s or something like that. The blue ones are F1s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, EF scale 1. So you can look at here again, take data that was created in a Google spreadsheet and created in Google Maps Lite, and then export as a KML file, then import it back into here as something you could use, their data, and then maybe correlate with somebody else's data. This is November. We can put, January over on the other side if we wanted to. But that's pretty much it, how I plan to use it in class. I mean, I'm going to use it the same way as I use GE Teach because all the maps are already there. What I'm going to do different this year is we're going to use more Maps Engine Lite. And then the last thing, kind of as a bonus, you can move Pegman. And on either map, and look around the world. And then these move around too. And if I wanted to do, I could do Pegman on the other map, and we could have kind of 4 windows, looking at multiple phenomenon at different scale. It's a really lot of fun. So, hope you enjoyed it. It should be coming, running slow now. Should be coming out in a couple of weeks, and hopefully y'all get to play around with it a little bit. See ya.